Yes, 17. Our aim is to empower our buyers to become global resident and transform buyers into international investor as well. So all these 70 offices that I was talking about from around the world, we are connected and we can market and sell property cross-border. So as a buyer, you'll be serviced by both the local team as well as the global network should you decide to expand your investment portfolio. So that's the beauty with the IQI platform. So, okay, I'll keep the IQI introduction a little bit short. And if you would like to find out a little bit more about IQI, what can we provide, please talk to the agent that or the person that who has introduced you to our Zoom seminar today. And they will be able to provide you with more information and help you to find out a little bit more how to expand your portfolio. Anyway, yeah, this evening, we would like to bring you one of our exclusive development, Eclat in West Perth. This project, we actually started the pre-launch in around November last year, and the result has been has been pleasing. We're very happy with how the market looked at this project. So since we softly launched the market in around November last year, we have actually sold quite a number of the units, and for very obvious reason, which I will not touch on because tonight, we have our special speaker, Lily, who is the director from IQI. She's going to show us in depth about this development. Of course, she will cover a little bit about the area, not just development. So, you know, when you buy into the area, there must be something unique about the area and of course the development as well. So please join me, welcome Lily here. Good evening, Lily, how are you?
Good evening. Thank you so much, Lian. Yeah, thank you so much for everyone tuning in this evening. Yeah, I can see quite a number of new audience. Let me share the screen first before I start. Lian, give me a signal if all good.
Yep, it's all good, very clear. Okay. So Lily, since November, when we launched this project, yeah, have you been getting quite a lot of inquiry?
Yeah, we do. Yeah. Surprisingly, because that was right before, right, we even start to advertise. We just sell through our networks. So far, right, whatever we have sold, 11 signed the contract already, 4 still under the reservation as today. Yeah. We would say, right, we have only like 3 or 4 is from the advertisement. It's all through the rest, right? Is basically all through the networks, you know. As soon as, you know, we blast and then they see the projects, right? Actually, during the design phase, right, they already start to talk to the developer, you know. As long as you build something, I'm going to buy. That's how it's like. I still remember the first clients, right? She actually is a personal friend to the developer. So she says, right, as long as you build something, I'm going to buy. That's it. So that is the first client. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. All right. I will not keep you too long. So go ahead and yeah, I'll ask you more questions later.
Sure, no problem. So good evening again to everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in this in joining us. My name is Lily, as Lian already introduced. I'm the director for IQI Australia. So it's my great honor to be here again all the times or last week and having this opportunity to share with you this special project, which I really think you shouldn't miss out. Let us start. So here is a quick disclaimer before we started. As always, this event is only intended to share general information and for reference only. Everyone's situations and different, and of course the financial objective, even the purchase objective will be different. So before you make any investment decisions or purchase, right, we always suggest or advise seek for the independent professional advice. West Perth. West Perth is for local people. This is a very familiar area because 2 days ago when I launched this project in Malaysia, right, I need to explain it more details. So today's, right, I will just straight to the few points, right, that I think, right, even local may not realize that. Okay, first of all, West Perth was formerly an exclusive area for wealthy merchants and politicians. I'm not quite sure how many of you know about this. And West Perth suburb now is part of the inner mixed zone and has predominantly, okay, still with this office block, which have now gradually replaced by the residential building. So the suburb has quite relatively high proportions of minor consultant, especially medical specialists, as compared to Perth CBD. Now, the size of West Perth is approximately 2.3 square kilometer, which is around 10% of the whole Perth CBD. Okay, you can see from the next, hang on, let me use the pen. Okay, this chart, this spatial chart is actually a research done by the microbirds. Okay, so what they have done is actually this is a platform that we use quite frequent, because what they have done, they gather all the necessary information, for example, from the council, from the government states, from the crime rates, the planning data, school performance, and then they make it into a very simple format of score, so that, you know, it can help the users, right, to make decisions. Because as I mentioned, right, everyone's, when they come to a property purchase, right, the aim is different. Some people may look for convenience, okay, but as you can see from the tables, right, West Perth is basically scored like, I mean, they have been almost full marks in every aspect. Now, West Perth is very low in density, with around 5,600 of populations, which is around 0.3% of the Perth populations. Okay, East Perth, which we are also very familiar with, the residents is around 10,000, so it's double of West Perth. And when you look at the income tables, right, the residential income here is quite high. It's around 78 to 130,000, or above 182,000. And this is a high demand market. I still remember the first time when I present these projects, right? The people that visit the property is around 400. And over the months, right, from November up to now, the demand has been increased to 546. That is quite a significantly increase, okay? Now, 65% of them is currently renting in West Perth. No doubt, as I mentioned, right, most of the property here is apartment, because the land is just not enough in this area. Okay, and usually you will see quite high density apartments. It's mainly in East Perth, but West Perth is not so kinds of high density. And what else? You will hardly see the single tier residence property in West Perth, as I mentioned, because the land size is only 2.3 square kilometer. That is very limited supply, unless, you know, you start to knock down all the office building, or else, right, there will be continued limited supplies. And what is the next? This is a young suburb with the age range from 25 to 49. But surprisingly, what we found is during the home open and during the inquiry periods, right, we actually found more downsizer and retiree. The type of the household here are mainly with the is mainly couples without children. And for the couple with kids, right, there is only around 14%. Okay, so I think this number will actually increasing, or will increase after the pop hots, you know, when they start to increase the number of students or the number of intakes, and also like when the ECU move to CBD. This is another interesting chart that I would like to share with you in this evening. So as I mentioned, right, West Perth doesn't have too much of dwelling supply. According to the statistic provided by ID Community Demographics, as you can see from the tables, right, in their dwellings, in their forecast dwelling of developments for City of Perth, the dwelling in Perth CBDs, right, will be doubles, right, as you can see from here, will be doubled by a year 2041, from 14.8 thousand to 28,000. That is increased by like 91%. The increase will be mainly from the Central Perth and East Perth. As you can see, the blue color that I just circular, that is for the Central Perth. So will increase from 3,005 to 9,000 by 2041. And as for East Perth, the number will increase from 6,005 to 12,000, okay, which will create quite high density, I mean, in East Perth in the future. The current supply in West Perth is around 1,800. So the number will increase to 2,800. You still remember I mentioned the populations? Currently, we have nearly 5,000 of populations, okay? And then the population in East Perth is 10,000. But when you look at the supply of the dwellings, right, we will be not enough to fulfill the increasing of the populations, okay? Now, like every big city, people is only willing to trade for their living space for convenience. For example, people are willing to give up their big yachts or big house, right, when they can save the traveling times, or they can spend more time with the family, or, you know, or for leisure or hobby. Now, let's see how convenient Eclat is. Eclat is, as you can see from these aerial views, right, they are not far from Kings Park and not far from the Hay Street Cafe Stripe, and also the inner and also to Leaderview, North Bridge, Subiaco, even to the Optus stadiums, right? You will be surprised, it's only 10 to 15 minutes away. Okay. Now, years ago, I'm not quite sure how many of you ever see this article in the newspaper. West Perth was once being named as analytically the best place on earth by this international analytics company, SAS. The company used a very special calculation method to crunch 5 million data in order to compare more than 148 cities within 193 countries. So based on all these public supply data from city studies, right, or social media or reviews such as TripAdvisor, and then they also pick on those, like, you know, the data from events like from WTO, you know, the World Trade Organizations. After all, West Perth has been rated extremely high and become the ultimate paradise and the best place on earth. Well, to be honest, right, after 2 years, I still cannot understand why is West Perth, but it's good to know, okay? Now, okay, there is a green cat, okay, right in front of the building just in Dorset, operates only on weekdays, no weekend service, which is actually perfect for those people working in CBD and would like to enjoy a quiet environment on weekend. But in case you want to go to CBD on weekend, there are the red cat and also the yellow cat. Okay, red cat is just 4 minutes away, and yellow cat will be around 7 minutes away. And of course, train, as you can see here, train is another option, which is, I think, well, 12-minute walk. I mean, it's still not far from the building itself. Okay, and West Perth is easy access to the south of the river and north of the river through, I mean, if you're going to south of the rivers, right, easily you can go through Maury Street. And if you're going to the north of the river, again, easily access through Thomas Street. Okay, now come to educations, because I know, right, we do have some clients, right, actually looking for these potential areas, right, just for the sake for the kids' educations, okay? Eclat is very close to WN #1 high school, that is the Perth Modern High School. Perth Modern School, which is just about a 13-minute walk. And Bob Hart, okay, which is just opened February of last year. This is the first high density public school in WA. And currently only year 7s is available, and about 250 of them on board this year. By 2023, right, they will actually start the service for year 7 to year 10, increase the number of students by 1,500. And then by the year 2020-25, right, they're going to take more students up to 2,000. Okay, so international students are welcome as well. So you can actually start to, I mean, international students can enroll into these schools, right, when from year 9 and started from next year. So there are 2 ways to enroll into this school. Either you through the local intake area, that is, you know, the student residence, right, is within the school catchment. Or the student can sit for the gift and talented selective academia programs. And then as long as your score is about 230, okay? So, I mean, if your kid is very talented, okay, don't waste your money, because you should just go for the exam. Because for Perth Moderns, right, the score for 2019 is 237, okay? But if you don't want to give your kids so much of pressure, okay, now maybe parents should consider to buy into a property that is within the school catchments. And of course, there are still other options, as you can see from the list. We still have Shenton Park, Christchurch, MLC, Health School. They are all within 15-minute drive. UWA as a local, I don't think I need to explain too much, which is just 5 to 6 minute drive away. And as you know, that is one of the famous uni, okay, and the ranking as well, okay. One of the reasons for most of the overseas students or the parents, right, would like to buy into this area is because the accommodation that provided by the unis, right, especially in UWA, actually is quite high. It's around $380 per week. So sometimes it's better off, right, if they buy instead of they are renting. Okay, and then because today's, right, I can see, right, the people tuning in, right, is mainly local. So I will just skip a little bit here. But I will be very happy because, you know, I enjoy, you know, Saturday breakfast with my parents. As you can see, right, one of the top 10 cafe in Australia, which is just 11-minute walk from Eclat. So that is the number, one of the top 10 cafe in Australia, that is called Golden Street Garage. And then there is another one called Blacklist, that is also one of the top 10 as well. Besides that, right, we still have like North Breeze is not far away, and then we have Next Generation gyms. Okay, and interesting to see also, right, they are very, I mean, Eclat is very close to the 5 hospital. Okay, now 6-minute drive away, Edith Convent. Okay, Edith Convent University is going to develop the Perth first comprehensive city campus. This is the first time ever in Perth history. Okay, and this new project will cost our federal, state, and the local government 695 million. So I don't think they're kidding with that. And this campus is planned to open by year 2025 and started with 9,200 students and staff. And then in 2 or 3, 4, eventually will climb up to, I mean, the number of staff and students will go up to 11,000. Again, some things will, I mean, that will be the demands for that. Okay, 7 minutes away, there will be a first full line 3,500 square meter Woolly supermarket, of course, with a number of small specialty stores and also online delivery center. Okay, which is just 7 minutes walks from Eclat. And Woolly Group actually, I mean, Woolworth Group actually bought the lands, right, from the state government in mid-2019. And the DA is under progress. So hopefully, finger crossed, they will be complete by the times, you know, when Eclat finish. And Subic East is another big project. Okay, this is one of the, I would say this is one of the most significant ones, you know, that, you know, undertaken by WA. And because the involvement, right, is over like 35 hectares. So that is a lot of information online if you will be interested to find out more. And again, right, this is just 5-minute walk from the Eclat. Okay. So now Eclat. Hang on, let me just go back over. So Eclat is a French word, okay? That's why I'm not quite sure, right? It's Eclat, Eclat, or Eclat, okay? So it's a French word, it means brilliance of success. During the designing phase, right, the developer as well as the architects have a visions, right? They would like to create a buildings, right, that is timeless. And as you can see from the curve of the glass, right, the glass curve balcony. So they're going to customize back the glass in New Zealand and curve it in Queensland before they deliver to Perth. So that is also one of the reasons, right, to make the whole buildings, right, stand out from the usual square or rectangular designs. we are quite confident, by the time they finish these projects, right, Eclat will be recognized as one of the most beautiful building in West Perth. I would say maybe even in Perth. Okay, so I would like to start these project introductions, right, by explaining who is the team behind, because you may not realize, right, usually when we go to off the plans, right, you wouldn't know the builder, okay, until the very later stage after they meet the pre-sale, because in the big project, usually they go through a tender. That's why how the developer is announced who is going to build. So kinds of like you buy into the brand names of the developer. But this project is slightly different because they start everything from the builder. Okay, let me go through a little bit who is the team behind. So we'll start with the architecture. Bolic Designs, right? You can check. I purposely put the website there so that spend some time to go to the website and have a look. Bolic Design Group is very, very specialized in high-end build, both in Australia and international for over 60 years. And in their websites, right, you can find also the long list of awards that they have won, and also their significantly number of projects they have been working with the government. They do the sport and creation, resort, health, hotel, industrial, retail, and they're not so much of residential. For me, right, this is my personal thinking, because there are not so many repeat residentials, right? They make that thing out of the box. That's why the design of Eclat, right, is not the normal shape that we see. Okay. And then come to the developer and also the builder, that is Palazzo Homes. Okay, this is a family-owned business from father to sons, and they are all, it's not because of father is builder, then the son become a builder. That is not the case. The father and the sons, right, they are all qualified either builder or engineer with over 60 decades of combined experience. So the family is still very active, involved in the day-to-day business to ensure, right, their clients happy with their service. And again, Palazzo also won a lot of industrial awards, as you can see from here. And most of the people living in Western suburbs know or heard about them. Okay, because they built a lot of luxury and high-end property in Western suburbs. The picture that I show here, right, that is all their previous project. Okay, and their clientele, right, can up to the top developer and the top real estate agent in Perth. Because of the privacies, right, I won't be able to disclose who they are. But one thing I can very confident and ensure to tell you, if these people already the best and they are in the top in their industry, they definitely know who will be the best builder to build their own house. Okay, just like seeing doctor. When you are sick, right, you want to have the best doctor, not the cheapest doctor in towns. Okay, even though they build a lot of luxury house, they also have the experience with the apartments. As you can see, right, Palazzo Home build this kind of like low density boutique style and in the prime area of Perth. This is also their previous project. Okay, now for the interior design, in most of the case, right, with my previous experience, right, we don't usually meet the interior designer until the very later stage. But this project again is slightly different. The interior designer has brought into these projects from the very, very early stage when they start to pick the material, when they start to match the color. Okay, and again, Moda Interiors, they are also award winning teams. I did. So that is all the awards they got. And then again, they are very experienced, and then they will ensure, right? I remember last week when we have the meetings, right? I actually asked them to give me a furniture list, standard one. Package A, package B, and package C, but they say no, Lily, it doesn't work in that way, because they want to make every unit, right, is unique and fit to the lifestyle of the buyer. So they are so insist, right, buyer need to talk to them so that they can come up with something like customized, make and fit to the client's preference. Okay, by the way, so every buyers for Eclat, right, you will have a 3-hour free consultations with Moda. And of course, during the consultations, right, you can discuss your color selections, you can talk about your material change, you can do upgrade, and even you can talk about the furniture and also the window treatment. So, you know, after the settlements, right, you can just straight move in, and this is exactly the home that you are waiting for. Okay, price-wise, as I mentioned, right, Eclat is a low-density owner-occupied apartments. We have only 40 units, okay, 22 bedrooms and 23 bedrooms. And since the soft launch in November, we have 11 units sold and 4 under reservations right now. And we just sold another 2 yesterday. So our sales suite just opened to the public on Wednesday. So you are more than welcome to visit on this weekends. And the price per square meter for Eclat is about 7,000 up to 11,000, which is quite reasonable as compared with the quality they put into these buildings. And the current direct competitor, I would say, is Gallery House, where they are selling around 10 to 16,000 per square meter. Another reasons, right, that I like this project is because the strata fee is quite low, as you can see from the tables, right? The annual strata fee is around 2,000 up to 3,000, or the penthouse is 4,000 per year. Okay, in order to keep the low strata fees, right, Eclat doesn't have too much of high maintenance facility, for instance, swimming pool, gym, sauna. Okay. Okay, this is just a quick go through like what we have within the buildings. So in the ground floor, we have only 2 apartments, and then we have the 2 garage. As you can see from here, the 2 garage for the unit 1 and 2. The unit is still available, and we have also the private residential lounge and a small garden here. That is the residential lounge. Very like low maintenance. From level 1 to 6, right, there are 5 apartments per level. So we have different types of floor plans. We have A, B up to E, so 5 of them, and we have 4 color schemes. And again, right, most of the units will come with 2 car parks. So the 2 that facing to the city, okay, that is type A and B. We actually sold out most of them, but we have 1 unit just back to the market. So 29 is currently available. Okay. And then we have 3 units at the back. They are all 2 bedrooms. Okay. And this is a proposed new floor plan that we are working on. The reason being, right, as you can see from here, right, I think the market has been changed slightly after the COVID-19, because we found more people, right, actually want to work from home. And the demands for 3 bedroom actually is quite high as compared to 2 bedroom. Because of that, right, the developers are planning to change the floor plans for the 3 bedroom behind here, convert into 2 big 3 bedroom. So this should be ready by next week. In case you would be interested to find out more, stay tuned or talk to whoever invite you to these events, and then, you know, we can keep you informed once it's available. I mean, in terms of the floor plan and the prices. As you can see here, I don't think in Perth, by the way, all the sizes that I mentioned so far, like, is a strata size. Because in most of the case, right, that you see catalog from other projects, right, they are usually referring to architecture size. Architecture size, right, you need to reduce at least another 5 to 10% before you get your actual strata size. And the size that I mentioned here are all strata size. Okay. And the top floor, level 7 and 8, there are 4 apartments per level, and with 4 different floor plan, and again 4 color options, and all units come with a side-by-side car park. Okay. Yeah, that is the 4 units. Okay, so 4 color scheme that I will just go through quickly, because all the details bits, right, you are more than welcome to register with our consultants, talk to our consultant, so that, you know, they can brief you bit by bit. Okay. So basically we have 4 color schemes. So we have 2 darker color and 2 lighter color. And as you can see from the picture, the size of the balcony is very generous. Remember, this is free because balcony, you see, that's why I say, right, the developer is very, very generous because they can't charge you for the balcony. But the balcony we have in Eclat, right, is from 21 square meter up to 60 square meter. You cannot include the courtyard in downstairs. That is over 100 square meter. So the internal livings and the balcony is separate with a full height sliding stacker doors with no step in between. There's no step, but the picture doesn't look good. It looks like they have a step. There is a step, but it doesn't have. Okay, so there will be flat, and just like you have an extension with your living area to the outdoor, and very smart design with the single pillar here to support the balcony. And some of the units with the storage built on the balcony as well. As you can see, there's no condenser on the balcony, so residents, right, can actually enjoy and fully utilize the balcony. Also, every unit, regardless is a 2 bedrooms or 3 bedrooms, all come with a compact and portable designs, wall-mounted electric barbecue. Now, the rooftop will be the outdoor kitchens, the barbecue, green gardens, dining area, the solar panel here, and also, of course, the condenser. So that is the rooftop gardens. Okay, so this is the picture I took from the display. So as you can see, right, the appliances is from the German brand, Miller. And the cooktop, the range hood, the oven, the dishwasher all come with these brands. And then we have the wine fridge and the integrated fridge as well. That is from another Italian brand. Okay, and also the washing machine is not on the picture. That is also from Germany under from Bosch, yeah. Okay, and of course the Waterford style bench top. And by the way, this is not 20 mm, this is 40 mm. And again, it's not that common because most of them is still with 20 mm. Okay. Now, if you may say, right, well, there is nothing special because kitchen is a kitchen, right? That is, you know, like everywhere else. But I can beat you. The shoes cupboard, this is something special. For ladies, right, this is very important. As you can see, right, the shoes cupboards is with an individual divided, and then you have a little kind of seat there that you can sit down. And then what else? The laundry, they put it in a sink. Actually, my clients quite appreciate that because they told me, right, most of the laundry in nowadays, right, is just behind the cupboard. But these ones, right, with the linens as well, you actually have a separate room for that, which they appreciate and they like very much. Okay, and what else? The study desk. As you can see, right, the study desk is not a normal study notes where you just have the table. This is a full complete, like, you know, with the power, with the drawer, and even with the overheads provided. And this is come as a standard package. Now, regardless how good I tell you the area or the property, what it to do with you. So for me, myself, right, I have 3 reasons to buy, okay, that I would like to share with you today. First, I want to buy and wait for the growth. As our price is, you know, as the Perth property price, right, is finally start to climb up after like 5 years of waiting. From the table, as you can see, right, the start of our Perth property market's recoveries come at a very unfortunate times. Since November last year, right, as you can see from the table, Perth property market has 5 consecutive months of house price increase. But as you know, the COVID-19 hit and Perth property market's price has started to fall again. And luckily, the fall stopped in August, and we start to see the upswings again since September. So you have to ask yourself, if I'm going to buy, am I prefer to buy in the peak, or I prefer to buy when they are at the bottoms? Okay, so especially when the big banks, right, they all become so positive now, and everyone, every bank, the big 4 banks, right, are predicting, right, the price increase is going to be like 10 to 20%. So so as I say again, you can choose to buy after the 20% increase, or you choose to buy now and wait for the 20% increase. Well, some of you may challenge me, what if after I buy, the price didn't go up? I see a very interesting articles from Facebook today. So that is easy. If the price going up, yes, I'm the winner. If the price didn't go up as I estimate now, like Westpac said they're going up to 20%. If the price doesn't go up as as the bank predicts, okay, that's fine, because I'm still on a house or a home. And I actually will challenge you back. What if the price actually going up, but you still didn't do anything? So what will happen to you? You have to answer yourself, okay? And for the second reasons, right, is the low interest rate. As you know, our cash rate is sitting at 0.1% for a while, and currently the inflation is 1.24%, and they predict is going up to be 2.24%. So cash, right, sitting in the banks, right, is worth nothing. So above these tables, right, show the interest rates that the banks, right, pass on to their customers. So as you can see, right, the best one is the Westpac 1.99. So I'm doing some calculation for myself today. The unit that I bought, right, is around 1.1 million. Okay, so if I go for 80% loan, let's say it's right 880,000. My weekly repayments for the principal and interest is around $800 per week. And among these $800, right, $337 actually paying is interest, and then $475 actually is money to pay down the principal. So some of you may think, okay, Lily, I can actually rent something very similar with the price around $650 to $700 per week in CBD 3-bedroom. Okay, what is the difference? Well, I will say, right, of course, that is the difference, because in years' time, I will eventually pay off the loan and own the apartment myself. As for you, yes, you are right. You are paying only, let's say, $700 per week, which is you save $100 per week. You're better off than me. But in years' time, you actually pay off somebody or an investor's mortgage, but you still own nothing for yourself. And of course, that is difference between us. To be honest, right, I hardly see people can actually save that $100 per week and eventually accumulate up to 880,000. Why I mentioned the 880,000 is because that is my loan amount. So let's say, right, you try to save $100 than me. So you save up, what is the chances to save up to 880,000? I'm not quite sure. You will be surprised, right? Most of the people, right, they are good in paying bill, but not good in savings. Well, the last reason, okay, that convinced myself to buy into off the plan is because for anything, if the construction hasn't been started, right, the buyer can actually enjoy this 75% stamp duty rebate for off the plan purchase in WA. And of course, there is a cap of 50,000. Here is a simple table to show the difference for a property value, just for reference. Okay, for my case, I need to pay around 46,000, if I'm not wrong, 46,000 for the stamp duty. Because of the 75% rebates, right, I actually get 35,000 back from the government. Okay, it's not a big money, but this 35,000 refund or rebates from the government is good enough for me to use as a 10% deposit to buy another property. What do you think? Okay, have a think, have a thought. Okay, so that's all my sharing for tonight. And then Leanne, I pass back to you.
Thank you, Lily, for the wonderful sharing. I forgot to mention it at the beginning. So if you have any question, feel free to put it in the little chat room there. That way I can read it out, or feel free to unmute yourself if you have any question that you want to find out about that development. So I have a comment here. Thanks, Lily, for the detailed presentation. Are there any photos to show the different view from the property?
Yes, we actually have. You want me to show here, or we sit us in the display tomorrow?
Yeah, I think we should do that because I think yeah, if you want to show the view, is actually on our website as well.
Yeah.
So Jessica, I will get the agent who invited you to come along today to send the link to you. Yeah, because for Lily to put up the view now, I think
I can do
I've
one
got,
for level 8. If you don't mind, maybe let me try this one. Let's say I can
if
share.
it's not too, because I find that the line is a little bit shaky today. Maybe it's just my computer, but you
Yeah.
can try see if you can show
Yeah,
the
let me
view
share
of
one.
yeah.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, that is one of the view towards this will be the, is it B type? Yeah, B type.
Correct. So it's facing the Liverpool Way. So it's the left-hand side of the building if you're looking at the Collins Street.
Okay.
So you're facing what you call
yeah,
Collins
CBD,
Street. Yeah,
and that
city.
is the unit A and B. That is the most high demand unit. Okay, I think we have only one left. And then that's it. That will be towards Kings Park. And then these ones will be the back unit. What do you call that unit? A, B, C, D. The
so
unit
this
D.
is unit B on the side,
At the back,
facing the Kings Parkway, and then also part of the Type E. E apartment.
Sorry.
Yeah.
As you can see here, I think this is the next generations.
Yeah. It's actually very close to Kings Park. I mean, I walk slow. It will take me about 5-6 minutes to get to Kings Park. Yeah, it's actually quite close.
Okay. Now this is more towards the back. Sorry, I mixed up just now because I should see the next generations. And then this is exactly towards the back. Actually, the back is not bad.
Yeah, and because the building next to it are pretty low. Yeah. And it's quite open.
Yeah, and this is the corner, and then that is at the back and on the right hand side. Yeah, this is I would say this is west. This is north. Yeah.
Type D north facing unit.
Yeah.
So one of our type 2x2 apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is facing to Hay Street. Actually, this one also not too bad. I love this one as well. Really,
they're all very good.
You know why Lian keep reminding me? Because I keep changing my unit. Because I love every view.
Yeah. Thanks, Jessica. I hope we have answered your question. So if you have any more questions, feel free to put it in the chat room, or feel free to unmute yourself as well to ask any question as you like. We are very friendly. We're a bunch of friendly people, so don't worry. While we're waiting for question coming up, Lily, can I just ask, is there any opportunity to upgrade things? Say, for example, I want my bedroom, instead of carpet, I want to have different material or different things. What is there an upgrade option?
Yeah, definitely. That is what the 3-hour free consultations with Moda about. Because during the meetings with Kate, right? I think Kate will meet the client personally. So during the meetings, right, you can actually pick like what sort of material you want. Even though we have 4 color schemes, right, you can mix and match. And beside that, right, in case you want to change your flooring, like Lian says, right, you feel free to do so. And then they will price you, I mean, the difference between like what you have and what you are going to upgrade. Because as I mentioned, right, these artists, they are so character. Because I'm just a sales rep. I told you, can you give me package 1, package 2 just for the furniture? And then they said, no, we don't do this. I said, why not? Just package 1, and one with wood, one. And I thought it's so simple because this is the usual way we do as a sales rep. And then they said, no, you have to sit down with them, try to understand what sort of style, what sort of taste they want, and then you make something that totally fit to their preference. Yeah. So that's why don't worry on that, because you will have a great time with Kate. Kate is very famous, right? You can go online as well, can see like her portfolio and her testimonial and all those projects that she has been involved. Yeah, there is a video as well. Yeah.
That's good. At least we know there's option. And then sounds like they are very flexible and they really take each buyer, they treat them individually. Yep. So it's so customized. And I think people that buy into this building will feel, what's the word, like really their home, because it's designed to suit their taste. And I think the other point would be later on when you bring it to the market to resell, your value is going to be kind of well protected, because there is not many exactly the same unit in the market that can compare to, because everyone could probably end up with a different color, different flooring. So when you put it in the market, you don't compete with many people in the future. So yeah, do you agree, Lee?
Yeah. Now you remind me some things that I talked to the funder today, okay? Because about the quality, because she told me today, right? She says, right, Lily, when we look at the qualities, right, you shouldn't just look at, you know, the kitchen branch, the bench top, all these kind of things, not the overhead, things like that. She says, right, there is more than that. It's like how many cement they use. People may use 1 pack, they use 3 pack, because currently they have another project in Balcata. And then she told me, right, as long as people go to the site, right, and look at the construction and look at their finishings, right, they actually, because I saw they have done a lot of sales recently. That's why I asked them, like, what happening? That because they are in the constructions right now, so people have so confidence when they see, right, the way they build the building, because a lot of people, right, put a lot of emphasis in the, you know, they make a very fast, you know, like the lounge, or they make the very nice swimming pool. But the thing is, come to the fundamental things, okay? For instance, the wall, how many cement you use, how many pack of, like what she told me, like the material you use. Like, she says, right, parasols come to things like that, right? They are very detailed, and then they put more than the usual requirement. That's why she's so worried about the cost right now, because she can tell that parasol is their standard is that high, so they're not just a normal builder.
I think that's what gives a lot of people the confidence as well. Because I know quite a lot of project, when you buy during pre-sale or apartment project, you don't know who is going to build your building. And with this project, you know exactly from day one who the builder is. And builder and developer, they are also the same group of people. So there will be no, you know, passing ball when there's come to defects and maintenance, because they are just the one team there. So that gives a lot of buyer
a very good point.
The very good confidence.
And
because I have another, sorry.
Because we do have projects, right, where you have very headache, because when you talk to the developer say nothing to do with me, it's builder, and builder say nothing to do with me, developer is the one design. You are right.
It just takes a little bit longer time to get things resolved, but eventually we kind of we still managed to resolve that.
Luckily, because it's the consumer protection is still strong.
And IQI sales agent persistent as well. Okay, I do have I do have another question here asking about the deposit, because I know the standard is 10%, and there has been different sort of view in the market that's different amount. So with this project, what will be the requirement?
It's still the standards one. We need 10% as a deposit, but happy to look at bank guarantee. For instance, for instance, you don't want to use your name, like, you know, some people's, right, they're running business. You know that your money actually sit in the interest-bearing trust account, which the interest is very minimal. So you don't actually making a good money like years before you have 3%, 4%. You are lucky enough if you still have 1%. So instead of putting in the interest-bearing accounts, right, you may consider to issue a bank guarantee, and then you don't actually come up with 10% deposit, as long as you have some sort of, and the bank willing to issue you that bank guarantee. And then with that certificates, right, can be a deposit. Okay. So you basically don't come up with any money in that case. Okay.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah,
At
of
least we
course,
know.
if you need installment things like that, we need to negotiate.
At least we know there is an option. So 10% standard. So we
Yeah.
do what the standard market is doing, 10% deposit. So I hope we answer your question, Jessica.
Yeah, I hope
Look
you don't
like,
mind, right? So
yes.
sorry, to Jessica's, yeah, one more point. The 10% is not because the developer being rigid or what, okay? That is the requirements from the banks for the construction loan, because the banks will insist, right, because the bank wants security before they lend the money to the developer. If you don't pay 10%, right, the banks will not consider that as part of the pre-sale. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for that. Look like we do not have any more question, and it's 4 minutes to 9. So we just in time, just under an hour. So once again, thank you everyone for joining us this evening. And if you have any more questions, please feel free to get in touch with the agent that who have invited you here tonight. And we will have the display open tomorrow from 1:30 to 3:30, Sunday 10 to 12, and Monday 11:30 to 2 o'clock, and then Wednesday evening as well if you work. So Wednesday from memory is 4:30 to 6. So you are welcome to swing by anytime to come and have a look. If you have been, please feel free to come back again, because you might have more questions that you want to find out. And especially with the new design, if you're interested to look at the new design, because it is much larger apartment. So it's going to be quite nice. Yeah. So thank you so much, Lily, for your time this evening.
No
and thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend. We shall see you next time. Thank you and bye.
Thank you, everyone.